Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm
Very
doing.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Nice to meet you. It's been a journey for you as well, starting this
Yeah,
your project, and I'll be happy to also contribute to iGaming Insights.
I mean, you've been around for a long time also, starting from when you were really interested in in-play magazine and the website. What happened to it? I mean, we're not hearing anything about in-play anymore. What's going on?
Yes, actually, one of the things is that ePlay was like a daily back then for me before I pushed it into the limelight. And one thing is, ePlay is still there today, and it's still one of the biggest B2B gaming news portal in Africa. So I'm one of the pioneers that pushed the brand, that pushed the site to where it is today. So, and ePlay is still growing in strength, and so far so good. Well, I am not the founder and I am not the owner. I'm just one of the partners of Italy back then before I went on. Now I have my own baby now called Find More Africa. It's also a gaming news
Find
portal.
more Africa.
Africa, yeah, it's also a B2B gaming news portal dedicated for the African region, which is everybody can see now on LinkedIn. They are more active, disseminating information on the latest trend on fintech, iGaming, cryptocurrency, and all in the industry, and thoughtful articles as well. So that's what we do
So,
in a nutshell. And also, we also have aside from Me Play Africa, aside from Find More Africa, we also have under Find More Africa, we also have a consulting agency. If you check our site, you see our A Advisory is a gaming consulting firm that has to do with licensing for new entrants that want to come into the gaming industry in Africa. We also facilitate mergers and acquisition. We help in terms of anything that has to do with market entry into the African gaming industry. We also provide market research as well for our potential clients. And so A Advisory encompasses also with Find More Africa. So that is where we are currently, and that's where I'm currently focusing on my career in the iGaming industry. Ever since I was
okay,
pushing the ET Africa brand.
okay, that makes sense. So, if I say, let me say, if I in one word, if I say you are now an iGaming consultant, am I correct?
Yes, correct. That is what
Okay,
initially
good.
it was more of like me providing articles, thoughtful articles on the industry, providing insights on what the
Yeah,
gambling industry is in Africa. Yeah.
yeah.
So now
Uh,
it is more of now my role now is more of like a business consultant, gaming consultant for clients and different clients in Africa.
Alright. So, right now, where you're operating right now?
Yeah,
Uh,
currently I'm working for a host of brand, different kinds of brand in Africa. And also currently I've gotten some kind of contracts like more with some notable brand like the Michezo Limited. Michezo is a franchise, is the owner of Bet Power brand, which I am now the business consultant for specific markets, though it's more of like a temporary contract for certain months, which I'm to work
yeah.
with them to take them to some strategic markets in Africa. And that is what I'm doing currently in a nutshell. And also, I also consult for other brands, which I might not be able to mention the name, to expand to different markets in Africa. So in some territories, which is quite interesting for other potential listeners that might also be interested. Please feel free to reach us as well. We can always be at your service for different markets in Africa. Thank you.
Good. So you like looks like you are well experienced and understand starting the business of gaming in Africa. That's quite nice. And I think there's one question I'll ask. I know the questions. I know a few, but I mean you've
Okay.
been going around recently. You know, it's around if a company wants to success in Nigeria, in Africa. What are the steps? I mean, starting from business creation, starting from company creations, partnerships, and all that. You know, and also technology, because you have to get it right, right? You
Yeah,
have to get
sure.
your
Of
technology
course.
right, it's your policy rights, partnership rights, and obviously some other things. What are your, I mean, recently, because you've been tapping companies to, start from grass, starting from getting them licensing, right?
Of course.
Finding the right partnerships and all that. What are the stumbling blocks to growth in
Yeah,
Africa?
though Africa, it's a dynamic market. Different market comes with its own challenge and opportunity. So if I may start, for example, which you specify for Nigeria, definitely technology is key. And like you said in your words, without the right technology, definitely you might not get it right. And one of the key aspects of having a robust technology, and if you look at the successful brands today in Nigeria, for example, they have the technology and they have the right technology partner to power their business and to make some adjustments if needed. Because if you look at Nigeria, the Nigerian market is very competitive, and definitely when you have the technology, also you also need to consider some of the other options like a local partner that is reliable, that understands the market and getting the workforce. Because if we look at the industry in Nigeria today, we still have limited workforce in some areas of the iGaming periphery. And one of the issues is no adequate knowledge of human capital to meet up with this challenge of growing online sport betting coming into the
Then
market. And
you're
so, and also if you look at also you should also consider your payment aspect, because we realize some of this, though there are so many fintech companies out there now providing service to, which has made the online gaming business improve a lot over the years. But still, there still comes with their challenges. And one of the things I would tell a potential investors that want to come, you should have multiple payment options. And after mentioning the technology, you also have a strong a multiple payment options to be able to meet your demands. And also in terms of understanding the market, like I mentioned, the local partner, and also you also have to do your own research, because if you look at what is happening today, most new companies coming in, and most of them are doing copy paste, and
there.
they always want to look at the big boys in the market and see what they can take from them. And some have even gone to the extent to do a similar platform like the big boys, just to mix up with what the players really want. And if you look at it, if you look at some of the things that most people are missing out, is customer's journey. You also have to consider your customer journey and customer experience, because Nigeria is a tech savvy population, and most of the people that goes online always want anything that has to do with convenience, because the population with a tech savvy, they want everything to be easy. They don't
Yeah.
want to go through stress to solve some queries, or to even place a bet, or to give
Even to
them
sign
that,
up.
even the sign of, just give them that customer journey that will like make it easy. And even placing the bet, because some of them don't like spending hours on their phones or their system to place a bet. They just need you to give them something that will guide them through, and for them to easily place a bet. And so these are some of the things we need to consider if we want to come into the Nigerian markets. And also, if you look at other markets now, for example, if you look at the East African market, you have other companies you have doing well, which are not doing well in Nigeria. For example, you have companies like Bet Power, which are quite big in East Africa. And if you ask yourself why they're not too big in Nigeria, so if you look at the technology behind it, if you look at, for example, the East African players love a platform with that is easy to navigate and that is light on
The mobile.
the phones, or their, because most of them use features phones and things like that. So if you look at the differences, and so they always want a platform that is very light for them. that will not be too complicated. That is when you look at the East African players. It's simply a simple that is very simple to navigate. That's what the East African players are always keen on. But if you look at the Nigerian populace, they are always after the convenience in terms of the journey.
Yeah.
So it's a two different thing. When you look at, if you look at the Nigerian, if you look at the most of these betting platforms in the East African region, you see that their site is always simple. You just go directly anything you want to go directly there to click, and it is light. Doesn't consume much data. But Nigerian players want something that is savvy, that will be easy in terms of the journey for them, and also
That
a
by
custom that
journey, I think by journey you mean first off sign ups, how is it on board them,
yes,
then
and the
even
experience.
after they play, how they
uh,
how you're able to pay them,
Pay them,
you
yeah,
know.
the journey,
Yeah,
how to pay them as well,
yeah.
to pay their winnings,
That's
and
payouts, yeah.
also and the payout, also the journey in terms of the convenience when they're on your platform.
Yeah,
There's this feel that Nigerian players want, whereby everything is accessible. They don't need
yeah,
to go to a third party's site to, maybe, for example, they are doing forecast on games now. They are trying to play a game. You are expecting them to go to third party to search for the data analytics of this
yeah.
specific game. So they just want that journey, that convenience. So that is just the two different things I realize in both markets, in both
I see.
regions. Yeah. So
So it clearly, from what we're saying, you say that to succeed in probably East Africa can be a bit more easier than Africa, than Nigeria, because they they don't trouble operators too much. Just give them something to play and they're happy to play.
yes, they're happy
Whereby
to.
Nigerians they want more in-depth
You
features.
in
Yeah.
the features, and you need to be on top of your
Your game.
products. Yeah,
You have to
because
be competitive.
you have to become,
Yeah.
because if you are doing something now today in the market, you have to be innovative.
Yeah.
That is what Nigerian players want. You have to keep
Yeah.
innovating on what you are
I
offering them.
agree.
Yeah.
Which is also it's very difficult. Which I mean, obviously, I've also seen it happen in my journey as an operator. It's a little bit difficult, of course, because for you to be able to take care of Nigerian players, you have to, if not only own your software, you have to have a very good partnership with your software provider, whereby you're able to make changes, be competitive, unless if you're renting a software where you're paying royalty or you give you a white label, it's going to be
Yes.
difficult in Nigeria. Do
Of
you
course, of
agree?
course.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%, because they will tell you are not the only client, and if they're making changes to all other clients, which are also a white label solution. So it takes
Yeah.
time and it costs them. So they will tell you to cost
Yeah.
them this so amount. So, and for them to even respond to your queries and your
Yeah.
changes, it could take 4 5 months, even a year. Some might not even
Yeah.
respond to you. So that's why in terms of technology, you must have it sorted out before coming to the
Yeah.
market.
I
So it's
mean,
important.
I mean, from what you've said now, basically technology is like very, very important. Apart from that, if you look at a market like Nigeria, you can say our laws are open. We are open to business. You would agree with me that barrier to entry is almost zero. Once
Yeah.
you have all your documentation, got the right licensing and all that, I think barrier to entry is quite low. What would you? I mean,
Yes, yes. For me, I think Nigeria is still the open market for anyone that wants to come in. Because if you look at what is happening today in Kenya and what is happening today, and one of the biggest issues that most of these investors, entrepreneurs out there, they believe Kenya market is is, is the best when it comes to online gaming, online betting or zero. But I'm giving it that for a fact that you have markets that are far more robust and with ease of doing business far better than Kenya. That If you because I've had series of experience, I've spoken with so many people. They believe that the Kenyan market, everybody always wants to consider to start with the Kenyan market and see. You'll be frank, the Nigerian market is still one of the open market for anyone to come in because even the laws are easy. The regulation, the taxes, and everything involved is quite open for anyone to come in. Once you just have to make sure you get your license on the right regulatory body and you comply with the tax, then you are free to do your business.
Yeah,
Unlike in certain markets whereby you see cabals, yeah, which is quite common in the East African markets, see cabals frustrating some companies out of the markets, which we've seen over the years in certain markets in East Africa. If I'm being factual, because you see some people they use the influence of political connection to frustrate some companies out. So not that I'm trying to target the Kenyan market or my Kenya fellow people watching me, but it is obvious because
yeah, of
we've seen it.
course. I
Yeah, yeah.
mean,
It is quite all everywhere on air. You see different companies pulling out. You
yeah,
have likes of Hollywood Bet that came in that entered into the market within a year, pulled out. You have companies like BetSafe pulled out. You have
yeah,
sport
best
pesa with
from
their
betting
issues in
cooler,
yeah, betting, a lot of brands like that because there is highly political and that is one of the difference between Nigeria and some of all these markets. Because Nigeria,
yeah.
I believe the market is open for everyone to play his game. The
Of
big
course, difficult.
yes, yeah,
Difficult
so
in terms of customer satisfaction.
intention, yeah,
The I think the demand for the customers is way higher than any other country in Africa. You
of
know.
course. Yeah,
And it's not
because
I think we should give credit to our players. They are a little bit more,
I cool.
more in that regard. And it all
I'm
starts
doing,
from our
doing
fintech.
doing a lot of research, and
Yeah.
yeah, so and also we can't take it out with South African market because South African
Yeah.
market is also they're innovative because the market is
Yeah.
also very innovative, just like Nigeria. So for me,
What other
I
African countries again? Nigeria, South Africa. Which countries do you think someone should be looking at?
yeah, I will consider some other emerging markets that is still open for business for people to explore. You have markets like Angola, which so many people are not looking out for. You have market like Ethiopia, though it's a bit difficult, it's complicated to take money out, which everybody is complaining on, but the market has huge potential. So when I mean potential, this market that who cemented its position in this market will definitely make an inroad. Definitely, we have like notable brands who went there, which pulled out. We have people like BetKing, which went to the market and pulled out in Ethiopia. For me, you know, market like this,
First thing I'm
and
looking at retail, isn't it? And I think retail didn't work out, for them working.
yeah, for me, based on my research that I did in Ethiopia, some of the research I did in Ethiopia was based on some of the errors the brand might have made in Ethiopia. Is you know Ethiopia is still a market that is not in the 21st century because I've been to Ethiopia twice and I've been able to do business there. I understand how the mentality of the Ethiopians are. So one of the key aspects that I realized is that the brand BetKing went with some approach, with some Nigerian mentality approach into the market. For example, one of the key errors, which based on my report and information gathered, was BetKing was building their retail outlets more like a sophisticated, a more like a beautiful, more sophisticated retail. When you put, how do I put it? You said they are building more of like a beautiful offices. He invested a lot in the retail space. And if you look at the average people that are placing bets in Ethiopia, not all of them are educated. And for example, they say there will be an bet king shop outlet. Most of the Ethiopians we're thinking it is It is an office because it is too nice to look like a
Just
betting
only
shop.
take
Yeah.
scan that.
So
Scan.
so it's let me say it's well packaged. And that's why you see most people use the word think local, act
Yeah.
local.
Yeah.
So you have to understand the population. So
Do you
people,
think I feel like I also to keep brought a point? Probably because they're building like Nigeria. Probably the technologies is also designed the way Nigerians want it. Because it's succeeded in Nigeria doesn't mean
this,
Ethiopians would like
yeah,
design the same way
of
also.
course, that one you also it's also a good point. I'm not
Yeah.
moving that away. So based on the analysis I got, I was informed that the players out there were thinking most of the betting outlet was an office, an office where people can go. And people in Ethiopia, most of them, they are not in the 21st century. Ethiopia is more of like an ancient city. So you have to think local. Look at what the people there. So people felt the market, most of the shops are like white collar people that goes there. They package, things like that. So they're assuming they have, you are going to like a rural area. They are putting a package outlet there whereby that will be so beautiful for the people there. The inferior
Which
complex
brand
will
is
come.
doing well in Ethiopia? Sorry.
Yeah, there are so many brands. There's Vamos. Vamos is one of the biggest. It's a local brand, yeah. It's only local. Vamos.
Obviously. Yeah, they are
Yeah,
taking local.
yeah.
So make
So
things successful.
yeah, and like you mentioned, the technology as well.
Mm.
It's
I mean,
also
they are going to do it like Nigeria, and
yeah, they
it's a
they
big
they
mistake I've seen people make over time.
yeah
You know, if you're successful in one country, you have to go to if you are going to another one, you have to look at what they are doing in that country. How do
yeah
they like it? Yeah, what that software, and they like to access the apps. They are betting, fees and all that. If you cannot localize your business, you will always struggle. It's a big,
yeah
there's no place that I've seen it work out that way other than this our industry. So that's quite good. So yeah, so it's been very insightful, like the
yeah.
name of the podcast. It's the first episode, and I'm happy you could join. I wanted it to be somebody I very well. You're a
Yeah.
journalist like you are, so you just try to adjust and to uh,
I'm also happy to be the fourth uh, guest speaker for your podcast
yeah.
because definitely I have
I
been
just like
in I have
don't
been
please
in your
go on.
position at some point that I'm asking simple questions. And I'm happy
Yeah.
that so I hope I didn't offend any brand, but it's all about we sharing
I mean,
our
yeah,
our our opinion and what we
yeah,
feel that can improve the industry.
yeah,
So yeah, so that's one of the beauty of us
yeah.
putting out this information out there for others to also look at and explore how we can navigate the African market.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted this podcast for opportunities to say things that normal journalists will not be able to say, normal people who are looking at the industry from the outside
It's
will not be
like
able to say it. We have to be
yeah,
able to say something insightful that
so
people are going
insightful,
to
yeah,
to learn from. That's the point. If not, then we don't need to be here. We're not
of
trying to be
course,
popular.
yeah,
We're just trying to, build uh uh a podcast, a show where people would at least get something out of it. You know.
yeah,
And there's something that just came to my mind now. There's been several conferences in Africa that seems to be doing quite okay. I don't think you were at AIG, isn't it? At the Lagos one, right?
yeah. Of course, I was there. Definitely, I was at the Age conference, and
Yeah,
definitely kudos to the organizer.
yeah,
I will give them a very good kudos. And it's very fun, and one of the things I like about the organization of the event, definitely they really put in a very good effort, and definitely the sky is the limit of the organizers, because I would like to give a shout out to some of the guys which I know personally at the age, because the guys really invested a lot into that conference, both time, material, financials, and everything. And definitely there's a sense of joy even when we attended the conference, and
Yeah,
there's a sense that we could do something. And
yeah,
definitely I will give Age the thumbs up. And also I will recommend Age for anyone who wants to explore other conferences for next year,
yeah,
because part of the African conference, and it's a must to attend for anyone who wants to come to Africa, because
yeah,
you definitely meet some key people in the industry, not just in Nigeria, also outside Nigeria.
yeah,
Because Age is not just for Nigeria only, it also gives the opportunity to meet some key stakeholders in the regulator space as well as in the operator space. So
yeah.
kudos to them.
Yeah, I was very impressed with it. Very impressed with it. And it's time for us to have something of, a program and a conference like that that thinks Africa, that thinks Nigeria, you know. And there was one done in Kenya recently. I'm not there, I don't know, but hopefully it's also as great as but it's quite good. And I guess we need to start to talk about we've been talking about technology and its importance. I think there are some companies also in Africa which trying to build their technology. Obviously you need everybody to up you. You're not gonna be the only one, you might
Yeah,
need an
sure.
European, you might need an Indian or something. But the idea behind it is local, you know.
Yeah,
So this is quite important and it shows that we're also growing, isn't it? And one of
of
those
course.
companies, I think, is Shark Evolution, right? You know,
Yeah, Shark Evolution, definitely. The guy is doing great job,
yeah,
it's one of its kind in Africa today. That definitely we have Shark Evolution dishing it out with his products, and a local studio, first one of its kind. So
yeah.
definitely studios today.
And I've been seeing some really growth recently from him, some very good partnerships. So that's really good to have our own because some of the reason why casinos have not been great in Nigeria is basically because it's not local.
Yeah,
Europeans understand an image of someone with a crown with it's they understand what that means because it's designed around their culture and everything, but we don't understand it. Nigerian players don't understand all these casinos, so it's a learning stage for
call.
most of our
Yeah,
players. But when we start to have someone like Sharp play who is designing
okay,
I see
products
one
locally.
boss, like one downfall, design around football, design a lot of around stuff that we know there is
Yeah,
a chance that products like that can succeed. And one of my friends also, I think he's doing something, Austin, I forgot the name of his company now, is building
uh,
technology. You've been doing something with him, isn't it?
yeah, sure, sure, definitely. And and one of the key things is that Austin is doing a great job with his platform, definitely. And it's I've been able to have a demo of the product, and which is one of a kind, because we've not been able to have something like that in over the years that the industry has been growing in Africa. Definitely, we have a local platform, which is not quite, uh, which is not, which is something new. And
Yeah.
so for that, it's kudos to those two companies that
Yeah.
are doing quite well in the industry, giving out.
Hopefully, I will be able to showcase something also in the nearest future. You know, we just need to continue to build. Just
Yeah,
continue to build. We cannot just be off taker only. We have to be the producers. We have to be the one who build things. Of course, we won't do it alone. We're in partnership with friends all over the world, but the idea needs to come from us because
Yeah.
that is the only way those products can
No
succeed.
time status.
So it's
Yeah.
quite interesting to see all these things happening to uh our industry. We are growing, so it's really good.
Yeah, sure.
Any other thing you
Okay.
want to add to the podcast before?
Yeah, so far so good. It's been enjoyable and it's nice being the first guest speaker and
Yeah,
appreciate the opportunity given. And because also you're also one of the founders and one of the great people that started this industry. And I'm happy to be part of the
thank
first
you,
iGaming Insight. So I really
thank
appreciate it.
you,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
It also shows that I appreciate what you're doing in the industry, and I've been talking recently about some things you've been doing that you stopped
Yeah.
doing. So I'm very impressed with you hearing that it's ongoing and things are moving on quite well in terms of because we need people who understand the game, who understand what to put out there. We need you at the forefront,
Yeah,
you know.
sure.
So we have to be at the forefront.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much. I really appreciate. Like I said earlier, the sky is the limit for us in Africa. And iGaming Insight. Thank you very much for having me. Have a lovely day. Yeah,
All right,
thank
you
you.
see. Cheers.
Bye.
Behind the scene, we have someone also who's been working to ensure that all the content that we discuss here, has been working on Moro pages behind the scene also. So shout out to Moro
Okay.
pages also.
Yeah, shout out to you as well.
So
Thank you.
all right, thank you. See ya.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.